Pulpit Freedom Sunday is a head-on constitutional challenge to the Johnson Amendment, a 1954 addition to the tax code that restricts a pastor's right to speak freely from the pulpit on the issue of candidates in elections. ADF believes that the Johnson Amendment is unconstitutional. It violates the First Amendment rights of pastors and churches. Put simply, Pulpit Freedom Sunday is intended to restore a pastor's right to speak freely from the pulpit without fearing any governmental intimidation, censorship, or punishment. Pastors who have participated in Pulpit Freedom Sunday in the past have compared the positions of the candidates to what Scripture and church teachings say about those positions. A Pulpit Freedom Sunday sermon is a biblical evaluation of the candidates running for office and their stated positions with specific application of Scripture and church teachings to those candidates. Pastors then work together with ADF to make the IRS aware of their participation by either being listed publicly on the ADF website as a participant in Pulpit Freedom Sunday, by recording their sermon and sending it to the IRS, or both. ADF is actively seeking churches to represent who are being investigated because of something their pastor said from the pulpit. ADF offers free representation, and if the matter goes to court, will seek to have the Johnson Amendment declared unconstitutional. Now let me tell you what Pulpit Freedom Sunday is not. It is not an attempt to get pastors to endorse or oppose candidates from the pulpit. We understand that many churches will disagree about whether pastors or churches ought to do that. Instead, our goal is to ensure that churches can make that decision for themselves and not have that decision mandated for them by the government. The Johnson Amendment has allowed the IRS, who is the entity responsible for enforcing the Johnson Amendment, to act as a kind of orthodoxy police, preventing pastors from saying certain things or making specific applications of Scripture in their sermons. Pulpit Freedom Sunday is less about candidates and elections than it is about the fact that there's any restriction at all on what a pastor can say from the pulpit. To have the free exercise of religion, America's pulpits must be free. The goal of Pulpit Freedom Sunday is to get the governments out of the pulpits of America. If you're a pastor, we want you to join us. You can get more information and sign up at pulpitfreedom.org.